Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are great. I have never seen a man that the wife is about to be deported that is this happy. Now, let me tell you a little bit. So, husband and wife, right? I think the wife had green card before and she stole something worth less than $200 and her green card was revoked. So now ICE got her, right? And she will be deported, or she's already deported. And guess what? They interview the husband, and the husband is the happiest person, supporting ICE, supporting Trump, flying the flag, and have all MAGA stuff in his house. And I am a little bit confused because it is screaming something different from what I like. It is screaming something else. Now I am going to ask this. Why is he so happy? Is there something that I do not know? Why is he still supporting the administration? Now, the reality is that you are, maybe as a black person, you are not being affected, right, with everything going on, and you are fighting so that some things will stop, but the people that is going through that are not fighting for it to stop. How do you want to continue fighting? Because at this point in time, it is giving you are wasting your time. Let's get into this video.
So I'm in the office working on my podcast episode, and I come across this news report, and I just need for y'all to explain to me, what level of delusion is this?
Iranian woman detained by federal agents. She and her family, all supporters of President Trump. See the MAGA hats. President Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf live for us in Diamond Bar. And Matthew, those Trump flags staying up tonight.
Yeah, those flags staying up. This family still supports Donald Trump despite their mom being detained. The final moments home for an Iranian woman detained by immigration agents. A mother Monday going inside to say bye to her 4 kids.
She came and kissed the kids and that was it. That's the last time I saw her.
A proud President Trump supporting family in Diamond Bar.
The election time was here. I had a full 3-4 flags out.
Even while their mom faces immigration questions. Has your opinion changed on this?
That's a good question. Somewhat it has. Just because I'm going through it. I was very selfish before. But what I see right now is, okay, there's a reason for it.
Arthur Sahakian's wife, Arpane, was born in Iran and moved to the United States when she was 3 as a refugee.
She cashed a check, I believe it was less than $200, and this is all where it started.
Then, about 15 years ago, her green card was revoked over a conviction related to theft.
It's all misdemeanor stuff.
Arthur says they've been going through the legal process towards regaining citizenship with check-ins every 6 months or so.
She just went in April, and they said, okay, you're fine. Have a good day. We'll see you back in September or October.
Then last week, the United States bombed 3 nuclear sites in Iran, increasing tensions and concerns of Iranian sleeper cells retaliating in the U.S.
I'm very for of them seeing the Iranian nationals because of the sleeper cells. I understand that.
Federal sources tell Fox News that more than 130 Iranian nationals were detained in the U.S. this last week.
I think it will resolve a lot of issues because we'll know exactly who's in here for what reasons. Even though I miss her dearly, but I think we could do a better job of you catch someone, you see they're national, and do a background real quick and see if they have ties to the community and ties to the families over here, and let them go.
What do you think is going to happen?
I'm on the list to be going to a different facility.
Arpane speaking with us on the phone, uncertain about her future. Any regrets with your vote?
None. Still supporting him.
While her family continues showing support for President Trump, hoping their mom comes home soon.
Trump is not trying to do anything bad. We understand what he's doing, and he wants the best for the country.
So right now, it's unclear if and when that mom could return home. Reporting live tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
So, the argument for getting rid of her would be what? That she's not in the country legally and she committed a crime?
Exactly. Basically, it sounds like she lost her green card about 15 years ago, and since then has been fighting to get it back. So right now, she does not have that green card and is considered to be in the country illegally.
Yeah. Interesting. So this whole thing is a reminder that everybody has a different story and there's so many layers to it. And if you just talk in political slogans, it's not enough. You really have to listen to each and every person's story and try to make up individual decisions almost. All right, Matthew Seedorf, thank you for your reporting on this.
So let me get this straight. The woman has been in the country since she was 3 years old. At the age of 15, she wrote a bad check. She was prosecuted for it. She got into some trouble legally. They took her green card, and she has been working diligently, has been following the rules since then. And now that Donald Trump is in office, she has been arrested by ICE. She's sitting in some facility to be deported back to a country that she hasn't been to since she was 3 years old. And her family still supports Trump. Do I have this right? The husband says, I don't think Donald Trump is trying to hurt anybody. Without hesitation, when asked if he still supports Trump, he says yes. I believe it's a setup. I believe it's a setup by the husband. I believe the husband wants her out of here. And so he's grateful to Donald Trump for her getting arrested by ICE. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Your wife, the mother of your children, is sitting in a facility and you are okay with the person who's brought that down upon her, the hurt and pain that she is dealing with. You're okay with the person who has brought that upon your wife and your family. The only thing that makes sense is that he's been wanting to get rid of her ass for years. And finally, her ass is just about out of here. If that's not the reason, then I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. And this is why I don't talk to MAGA nuts. This is why I don't try to have conversations with MAGA nuts. This is why they are dealing with a level of delusion that I am not equipped to deal with, nor do I have the patience to try to get them to see reason in reality. I don't have that patience. This is why. This is why when they get down in my comment section and I see their asses, I immediately block. Yeah. This is why I'm not equipped to deal with this level of delusion.
So like the Cubans, the Iranians have now been targeted. ICE has arrested and detained about 150 or so, probably more, Iranians around the United States. These are people who do have what is called an unexecuted removal order, means an immigration judge has ordered them to be deported, but they cannot physically be deported because there's no relationship between the U.S. and Iran, and we don't deport to Iran. So then you have Iranians in the United States, and they've been here also for 40 years, and they have that deportation order. And they have that order mostly because of criminal convictions, okay? But they cannot be deported. So now with these third country deportations, they are also finding themselves in different places around the world being dropped off at. I've had a few Iranians reach out to me about the situations going on. Again, this is happening for people who do have unexecuted removal orders, but who have been complying with check-ins. It's like, why didn't ICE just tell them, come in the check-in and you have 60 days, you need to put your affairs in order, and then you need to leave? Like, why all the dramatic kidnapping like this? This is what make everybody on edge. If they communicated with them, there is something called the baggage letter. If you communicate, you say, come here with your bag and your plane ticket and you're leaving, then they would have gone. But now it's just a lot of chaos and traumatic situations for a lot of people, unnecessarily.
I truly believe that some people should go to jail and have to earn their way out. I'm looking at something now where this Iranian woman was kidnapped by ICE and her husband says that he still supports Trump and he ain't taking his flags down. That's what he said. He said, now keep in mind, this woman has been in the United States since she was 3 years old from Iran. And her husband says that this took place from an incident that happened 15 years ago where she allegedly stole something for less than $200. He says he misses his wife dearly. He thinks they should have a faster process. She's not a radical or tied to crazies, let her out. But then says he's still supporting Trump. And his friend said, you need to take that fucking flag down because your wife has been kidnapped by ICE. And he says, no, the flag still stands. What? Go to jail. Don't stop at no food place on the way. Go straight to jail. They kidnapped your wife under this administration. She's been here since she was 3. She allegedly stole something 15 years ago, and they're just now getting around to putting her in a detention facility, and you still support the people that are fucking doing it? Hands and feet in a chair immediately.
You know, a lot of times people let groups do things to them, and you just wonder, you know, at what point does it become personal enough that you just can't forgive, right? And for me, it's when you do something against my family, right? So for instance, you see how these people get involved in cults and they allow the group to beat their kids, you know, and they say, oh, well, they did something wrong. Or they let the cult leader take their wife as their own. Or they let them marry their 11, 12-year-old daughter. And you say, what could they do where you would say enough? And some of them never do. Well, check this out. There's a lady, her name is Arpina Mashihi, and she was detained by ICE at her home in Diamond Bar, California. Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, she was out in front gardening when they came to scoop her up. They were nice enough to let her go in and hug her husband and her kids goodbye. They take her away. Now get this, flying on his home out in front is a Trump flag. Yes, him and his wife are Trump supporters. And they asked him, they said, are you still a Trump supporter? And he says, yeah, I still support Trump. Even though my friends say, take the flag down, you're going through a lot. I'm like, no, the flag stands. Even more, his wife is an Iranian national who came to the country when she was 3 years old. And she had a green card up until 15 years ago when it was revoked because she ended up with a theft-related conviction. They've been trying to work the immigration system ever since to get it restored, but up until this point, they have not been able to. Now, so you would think, right, that this would be something, this would be a bridge too far. Like, you know what? You scooped up my wife. I am not going to forgive that. No. He says Trump is not trying to do anything bad. He said, we understand what he's doing. He wants the best for the country. I'm just trying to make the best of it. I don't want any family members to go, any families to go through this. I apologize for what they're going through because it's hard. So he's all in still MAGA. He says, I'm very for the United States vetting Iranian nationals because of the sleeper cells. I think this will resolve a lot of issues because we'll know exactly in here for what reasons. Even though I miss my wife dearly, I think we could have a faster process where they determine she's not a radical or tied to the crazies and let her out. I got news for you. They already know she's not one of the radicals or the crazies. She's just Iranian. This happened right after they bombed Iran, right? So I'm pretty sure they did some vetting. They knew where to find her. They knew she was an Iranian. But the bigger question is, how do you still support the Trump policy, the Trump agenda, and Donald Trump himself after they do something so personal to you? They scooped up your wife, the mother of your children, and took her away. For me, there's some things that are just too personal to forgive. For people like him, I guess it ain't a bridge too far.
Colin Rugg writes this: Trump supporting Iranian woman in California taken by ICE agents. Husband says he still supports Trump and is taking his flags down. Arpine Masihi came to America when she was just 3 years old as a refugee from Iran. Last week, she had to say goodbye to her children when ICE arrived at their front door. Her husband, Artur Sakayan, claims the detainment stems from an incident that took place 15 years ago regarding theft conviction. She had stolen something worth less than $200, according to the husband. Arthur believes detainment is related to fears of Iranian sleeper cells. I miss my wife dearly. I think we could have a faster process. She's not radical and tied into crazies. Let her out. I'm still supporting Trump. Even my friends say, take the flag down. You're going through a lot. I'm like, no, the flag stands. Oh, and there you see him with the Make America Great Again. This is like, I don't know what to say. She came in when she was 3-year-old as a refugee from Iran. And then man, this is so confusing. She stole something less than $200. I guess they're going after people who committed crimes. But is she not a U.S. citizen by now? She's been here. She's had to be here for a long time, right? I don't know. So
Trump. This is all I got from this video, and some people must really be a big time joke, because how are you grateful? Okay, how are you grateful that your wife is being taken away? How are you grateful that woo, I don't know what to say, but maybe he is lying on camera, but it looks like he's not lying, because you can see the Trump hat, right? I saw the Trump hat. Okay, maybe they're just ignorant people, but he doesn't sound ignorant. He sounds really good to go. He is not ignorant, so he knows what he's saying. But I think there must really be something behind the story. And they are Iranian, right? Yeah. But I'm so sorry, guys. No, I am trying to comprehend everything that I just watched right now. Because tell me how your wife, the mother of your kids, right, is being taken away because her green card was revoked, which was actually her problem, right? She stole and they revoked it. Then what did she even steal? She didn't steal something really tangible, but I will leave it at that. If he actually made it to court or something, that's why it became that problematic and they revoked her green card, right? Now, what is wrong with that man she married? See, when I tell black people know already. It's not like when I tell you, you know. It's something that I also learned from you. So let me not use that word when I tell black people. But then let me tell you this, my people. You knew these people more than any other person. Like, you knew these people back and forth, back and front. How are you people able to study these people this much? Because at this point, I cannot even say Jack. I can't say anything. How? You see, all these Arab, anyways, I have also brought videos of them actually saying that they voted for Donald Trump, he won, even Latinos. And if you ask them, do you have any regret? They say they do not have any regrets. Will you vote? Yeah, they will still vote for him the next years or the next upper day. So some people can never change. You know how we are agitating for better, better life, better everything for black people and other people. Some people are not thinking like that for you. So I think black people are just on their own, wanting to unite everybody. But one thing I know for sure is that by the time this administration is done with them, they will be the one looking for you. You will not be the one calling them or asking them, let's do this. They will come looking for you. I will draw the curtain here. Let me know what you think. Bye for now.